Hi everyone, welcome back to Comfy Cozy Crochet with Tris. I am Tris and this is podcast number 13. So glad everyone could make it. Thank you so much for being here. I super appreciate each and every one of you, and I'm just so glad that you stopped by to talk some yarn with me. So I don't have a whole lot of stuff to show you today, so it's going to be a shorter video. I know I say that every week and then it's not, but I think it actually will be today. We actually have one finished object. There were sort of two. One got frogged. I'll show you a picture. And we've got one work in progress, and we've got an acquisition. So let's just get started, shall we? Okay. So as you all know, I am working the Cowl calendar, hashtag calendar, with Setta from Setta's Place. I'm just joining in on the cowl that she hosts at least the last couple of years. Last year she did all hats. This year it's for each picture of the calendar, you try to match as best you can yarn and pattern to make a cowl for each month. So this is the picture for this month. Isn't it beautiful? Look at the starry night. The beautiful white mountains underneath, but what really caught my attention in this picture was those stars. I thought it was so beautiful, so I knew without a doubt that I wanted to use a sparkly blue yarn, specifically a sparkly dark blue yarn. So I ended up picking, so knowing that I wanted a sparkly dark blue yarn, many of you may have seen my Herrschner's birthday haul, which I will link down below just in case you haven't. Lots of good stuff there. But I bought the Lion Brand Boogie Nights. Let's see if we can get that to focus there. In the colorway Royal Flush. And originally I had picked a herringbone half double crochet in the spiral in order to make this cowl, and I had originally, the tutorial that I used had beautiful texture, but they used a chunkier yarn, and she has a much looser crochet tension than I do. Mine is notoriously tight, and I'm a big time rule follower, like hardcore goody two shoes, okay? So when it tells me I should use, you know, a K hook, I use a K hook. And I'm just starting to come around with, if it says to use a K, use an L. If it says to use an H, definitely use an I or a J. Especially depending on whatever stitch I'm using. So, and if I happen to be using a thicker yarn, then definitely go up. Anyway, I'm just learning that I need to go with, that's a suggested hook type, not a required hook type. And that's suggested for most people, and the average crocheter has a lot looser tension than I do. So, I'm getting better with that. The point that I'm making here is that this cowl, which I'll put a picture up here somewhere, just didn't show very much of that beautiful texture. And I will also say that worked in the spiral, there wasn't as much texture as I thought there would be, even in the woman's tutorial that I used. And I'll link that down below. It's a beautiful tutorial by Claudetta Crochet, which you guys have seen me use before. Impeccably done, very easy to understand and learn from. But I think because it's worked in the spiral instead of going back and doing the other side, you don't get as much of that perfect herringbone. Might also be that it's half doubles instead of double crochets. I know that there are many different ways to do a herringbone stitch. But this just wasn't doing it for me, you know? I just felt like this is a beautiful yarn. It should be a beautiful texture. It should be something I want to wear. And if I'm perfectly honest, when I looked at it, especially from far away, or if the light was catching the sparkle, just looked like a single crochet loop. That's all. And I wanted to wear something just beautiful. So I went ahead and picked a bag o' day tutorial, which I will link down below, and I will put it up here what number it is. But I basically frogged that entire first cowl. It wasn't what I wanted to wear. It wasn't something I was gonna go for. And in this beautiful yarn, something needed to give. So I have nothing left to show you of the yarn, but let me show you the cowl that I made. This is it. A beautiful sparkly blue, and it is done, there we go, in a beautiful lacy stitch, and it is made up of V stitches and granny stitches essentially. Let me go ahead and put it on for you. So this yarn, let me tell you a little bit about this yarn, okay? So it is called Boogie Nights by Lion Brand. It is classified as a number 5 bulky weight, and they call for a K hook, as previously mentioned. It is a 3 ounces, 85 grams, 149 yards, 136 meters, 100% polyester. This is that really, really spongy yarn I was talking about in that Herrschner's haul. My husband said the same thing. He touched it and goes, oh, that's an interesting texture. It's not really soft. And I go, well, you know something, it is really soft. There is no itch or scratch on the neck at all. Doesn't bother my face, doesn't bother my neck. Super, super enjoyable to touch, but it's spongy. It is airy. It is a chain spun yarn with streamer running through, but that streamer is also chain spun in. With every yarn I've ever used, I go, oh no, there's a streamer. I'm gonna love it. It's gonna be beautiful, but it's gonna be a pain to work with. Let's be honest. It's going to snap, and or it's going to split. 2 things that I really don't enjoy working with yarn, and I'm sure nobody does, right? But this didn't catch once. I made 2 cowls with the same 1 skein of yarn. I did not have a single split, a single catch with the streamer running through it, nothing. I'm sure that is because it was chain spun, but I thought for sure, no, if anybody can do it, I can do it. It's definitely going to end up getting caught up there. Nope, not even a little bit. Let's see, the color again, well, let's see. So 100% polyester, machine wash, lay flat to dry. The color is called Royal Flush. It's made in China. And they do say be sure to match lot numbers. They say 1 skein of yarn can make a hat and 2 skeins of yarn can make a scarf. So I used just under 1, and I mean, maybe I have a yard left. So this is what we're looking at here. Isn't that pretty? So you've got made up of V-stitches and grannies. V-stitch and granny. And now that I'm up close, you can see that beautiful, beautiful sparkle in there that made me think of a starry night, right? Hopefully you guys can help me justify the use of this pattern and this yarn with that cowl. Let me know what you think. So I am going to go ahead and wear this for the rest of the video because I like it and it makes me happy. And hopefully I did justice to Crystal's gorgeous tutorial and to this really pretty gorgeous yarn. I was wearing it earlier today throughout my day, and it kept me nice and cozy. Here in Washington State we have had a lot of very cold weather lately, and very for us meaning between 25 and 36 for highs and lows, but we did get about 5 inches of snow where I live, and it finally is almost all melted today. I'm thrilled because I'm a sunshiny girl, you guys. So really, really excited to see that gone, but really excited to have something warm and cozy to wear in the meantime. So there is my first two finished objects, because I did finish that other one. It was worked in the round in a spiral stitch, and so there was going to be nothing but a snip and a sew in of the ends. Thank goodness I didn't do that, because I'm so much happier with the drape of this. I mean, that one was so stiff, and I mean, the yarn was still pliable because it's really nice yarn. I am not kidding. This may be one of my new favorite yarns. It's really, really lovely, and I can't wait to work the other color that I have. I believe it's called Joker, and I think it's very similar to the sweater that I'm wearing today. So that'll be really fun to work with as well. I don't know what I'll do with it, but I have another skein of this blue and 2 skeins of the other color, so we'll see what happens. So those are my finished objects. And I wish that I could say that I spent a ton of time weaving in ends like I told you guys I was going to last time, both on the blanket for my auntie, the big sunflower grafcan, and for my temperature blanket. I have kept up with the temperature blanket, but I did not go ahead and weave in those ends, so you bet your buns I'm going to be working on that this week. Both of those need to happen, and so hopefully I will be able to at least show you, hey, but look, no ends, these are pretty again. But I was having a hard time with my Crojo this week. I really was. I was feeling like I have to do these things. I have to make something for this project. I have to do something for this project. And I was feeling like, oh, but I want to start these 2-3 new blankets, but I can't justify that. And then I'll have nothing to show people. And I want to be able to be productive, you know? And so I was really struggling with my mind. And I finally just said, you know what? I want to crochet because it makes me happy. And I think starting a new project is going to make me happy. And truly, I don't have very many works in progress right now. Yes, I do need to weave in ends on some of my finished objects. And yes, I do have a, yearly cowl. But I don't have that many, why can't I start a blanket? And so I did. Now I will insert a picture of my Make 9 board here. This is going to be my second Make 9 object for the year. It's just started. I haven't worked on it for but maybe 2 hours so far, 2.5 maybe, but I am loving it. So I put on my Make 9 the Feather and Fans Stitch and Throw by Persia, link down below. And I knew right then and there that basically I love anything beachy. I love aquas. I like peaches and salmons and sometimes some yellow in there, but lots of blues and greens and sandies and whites and colors that remind me of a sunset, sunrise, tropical drink, tropical lounge chairs with the sun shining, whatever. Anything beachy floats my boat. Sort of pun intended. So I went ahead and picked a bunch of these colors back when they were still very readily available in Joann, my local Joann's. This is called Fair Isle Nantucket. The brand is called Fair Isle, and Nantucket is the name of the yarn line that I'm using. And I'm just going to talk a little bit about the yarn, and then I'll show you all the colors and the blanket. This is classified as a number 5 bulky. They call for an 8mm or L hook. It is machine wash cold, gentle, do not bleach, lay flat to dry, do not iron. I was watching Kate from Bitchin Stitches the other day. Hi Kate, if you happen to be watching this. Super, super nice lady. I'll link her down below as well. She did a yarn haul from Lion Brand that was the 5 for 10 deal. So jealous, wish I could have gotten in on that. And she kept reading these care instructions that kept saying, do not bleach. And she's like, why would you bleach this? It's the most beautiful color ever. Again, let me just say it again. Why would you bleach this? And I was chuckling. If you have not come across Kate from Bitchin' Stitches, please go check her out. Tell her I said hi. Absolutely just have a giggle fest every time I watch one of her videos. Highly recommend. But anyway, so yeah, why would you bleach this? I tell you, you wouldn't. Let's see. 131 yards, 120 meters, 131 yards, 120 meters, 3.5 ounces, 100 grams. It is 75% acrylic, 25% superwash wool made in China. So I chose 5 colors. Yes, 5 colors. And this is what it looks like. Can you see all the colors there? I think so. Get it a little closer. And we're repeating now. So it's a bit softer than it's coming off on camera. Probably that is from me using artificial lighting at night. But this is so soft and luxurious. I am using an L hook, which I'm giggling to myself. I don't know if you caught that while I was reading the yarn band, but I thought I had gone up a size in order to make this, and I guess I didn't because I'm using an 8mm L hook. But it's coming out really, really nicely. I'm not worried about it at all. And the colors I chose were, all right, so the colors I've got here, this one is the remainder of what I have for my first ball. So not a whole lot of that left, but never fear. I do have multiple, goodness. There we go. Sorry about that. So I never fear, I do have 2 more balls of each color here. So this one is called Aquatic. And that is that beautiful aqua that you see here in the blanket. So there's Aquatic. The next color is one of my favorites. And can we say it again? Nerding out over neutrals. If you've seen my last video, you know what I'm talking about. I absolutely love this color right here. This is a really sandy beige. And it's actually got a bit of that warm tone, almost apricot in it. And you think, no, you're crazy, until you work it up and it catches the light. And it's so beautiful. But it is a beige. It's called Sesame. That's the color I'm working on right now. And then I just kept thinking, these are absolute colors just from my dreams. These are the colors I go to and gravitate toward when I'm feeling down, or when I need to relax, or when I just want to escape in my mind. A lot of my house is decorated in these colors. It's just my happy place. So I was telling Sean, my husband, it's like the beach meets like the spa. I feel like I'm just gonna lay out and get a suntan and soak up the rays and hear the waves crashing, or I'm getting a really luxurious massage, or both at the same time. So now you see they're called Aquatic, Sesame, which throws off my vibe a little bit there, but this beautiful variegated color here is called Day Spa. And it's got beautiful peaches, that same sesame color in there, the aquatic color, and it's just beautiful. So there is that one called Day Spa, and it's looking a mess right now. I do apologize. It's because I've used so much of it that it's really starting to kind of fold in on itself. But I've got the yarn band right here, so I'm going to put that back on there. And yeah, Day Spa. I thought, oh, it couldn't get better. I can't make this up, you know. The next one, the white here, is called Cloud. There's Cloud. It's just a really beautiful, pristine white color. And the very last one. Again, just beautiful, beautiful neutrals. This is called, let me just double check here. Yep, Sandy Beach. And it's got that same sesame in there running through it with a slightly lighter beige. And it's got that same white and worked up into the variegated. It's just so beautiful. Having a hard time seeing that in the viewfinder, but I actually do think it's picking it up really nicely for you. So there's that. So I'm making this feather and fan blanket. It's going to be more of a one-person blanket. So when I back up here, you can see the majority of it in the viewfinder there, but it's going to be perfect just for me. And hopefully I have enough yarn. This blanket is going to be enough just for me to snuggle up in, or possibly my husband. However, I will say I have 3 balls of each of these colors, plus I think I have a few more of white. I also got a few more of a different kind of color palette that are more jewel tones that are absolutely breathtaking. I will say though, I got this, a few of them at Joann's, and then I went back and bought more of them for this specific project at a later date. And I got them online at the Fair Isle site for 50% off. They were having a 50% off everything sale, and I really thought they were just having some big mega sale. However, I did look today, and it does look as if everything is sold out. Any yarn categories, it just says there's nothing listed under this category, and they did have tons and tons and tons and tons of different lines of yarn. I know one of my best friends was working with a different Fair Isle yarn. I think it was called Hamilton, but I very much may be mistaken about that, but I know it was different than the Nantucket that I'm working with here. I am very fearful that they've gone out of business, and so I'm so sorry if you guys aren't able to get that. However, I do believe you can still get it on Amazon. Let me just get a quick look here. So it does look like there are a very slim select few that you can get on Amazon, but not much. Looks like very possibly this is one of the companies that has gone under since COVID, or possibly before. So sorry to hear that, because let me tell you, this is one of my favorite yarns I've ever worked with in my life. It's only been, you know, the last 4.5 years, but it still matters, right? It's got a lovely sheen to it, but not, you know, too much where it's gaudy, and I will cherish this blanket always. So this is what I'm working on. Love this pattern. Love the stitch definition. You've got the feathers and fans there. And I'm loving the colors. I love that there are some bright pops of color, you know, especially in here, with the peaches and the aqua that comes out, and then the pretty neutrals that just let your eye rest and, you know, really give you, you know, kind of a quiet place to relax. So I'm really enjoying this pattern. It's very easy. There's virtually no counting as well. Love it. That being said, ripple stitch is probably one of my favorites of any stitches. So just a regular ripple stitch. This one, I've done a few different patterns that were a ripple type stitch, not chevrons where it's very, very pointy, but just a real soft ripple. And I always think they're just beautiful, and they're very relaxing for me to work with too. So probably because they remind me of waves or something. And I am using this L hook. This L hook here by Susan Bates. It's one of those called Crystal Lights or something like that. Just a plain old acrylic hook, number 8, or 8mm, excuse me, or an L hook. And it's not my favorite hook in the world. It's a bit short compared to the boy aluminum hooks that I'm used to working with. I'm a knife grip holder. So I kind of hold my hook like this, and so it's just not my favorite because it's right there on the end, and I don't like the inline and that sharp kind of inline. Goodness, that does not want to focus. Focus. that sharp inline underneath the hook is just not my very favorite. So I prefer a tapered hook, so I usually gravitate towards boy hooks rather than Susan Bates. Not that there's anything wrong with Susan Bates, it's just a preference for me. I think because I do crochet so tightly and my tension is so great that that sharpness under the hook with the inline hooks tends to snag my yarn a bit, where the rounded or tapered head of the boys just slides right through and I have no problem with it. That being said, everybody and their mother has told me that I need to try Clover Amour hooks. So when I was looking for larger hooks that weren't the inline, I came across the Clover Amour and I thought, you know, I might finally have to give these a shot. So this hook is $9.99 or $8.99 at my local Joann's, and it's an L 8mm, and it's got the ergonomic handle, but I was not certain that I wanted to pay that much for one stinking hook. But that being said, Joann's had a 50% off coupon this week for regular price items, so I put it in my cart for curbside pickup, did that 50% off coupon, and I got it for $4 and change, under $5 including tax. Sold. So I am going to go ahead and try this one out and see if I like it better, and I'm sure that I will. Have never used an ergonomic handle before, so this is going to be a new thing for me. I have really bad arthritis in my hands, so this is either going to be the best thing since sliced bread or it's going to be terrible for me. So let me know what you guys think about these in the comments. I'm sure everybody's going to just flip out because everybody loves these things. But I'm thinking about even swapping out and working with this rather than this in this blanket, although that's probably a bad idea because I have heard that the same hooks, even if they say they're 8mm hook, you know, they should be interchangeable in theory. I've heard that that's not always the case and that you can kind of mess up your tension if you switch hooks in the middle of a project. So not probably my best idea ever, but regardless, I'm really excited to work with that. So that's my one acquisition that I have this week. And maybe it's just because, you know, it's unlucky number 13 or what, but there just wasn't a whole lot to show you guys this week. So we've got one ripped out cowl, one finished cowl right here, and one blanket that makes Tris very, very happy. So can't wait to continue with this. And like I said, if I can't get this yarn, and it's looking like they're at least on hiatus, if not completely out of business, but I will be really, really cherishing this yarn and this blanket, and I'm just gonna keep going with it until it's as long as I can go, and then I'm gonna stop. So really excited for this, and I'll have to really be choosy about the other Nantucket yarn that I have in the jewel toned colors and decide what the heck I'm gonna do with that now that I know I can't get any more. So thrilled to show you guys this. What are you guys working on? Let me know in the comments below. I love chatting with you guys. It's always my favorite part of my day, is to be able to sit down and look at my comments and just talk yarn with you guys, talk crochet. If you've found any new patterns this week, please let me know down below. I'd love to chat with you. So whenever you're watching this, I hope you have a great week, weekend, day, evening, afternoon. Hope it's a great one. Talk to you guys soon. Bye.